What if everything you thought you knew about Atlantis was wrong? For centuries, it has been dismissed as a myth, a moral fable invented by a philosopher. But new evidence, ranging from seismic anomalies to recently analyzed satellite imagery off the coast of Spain, is about to challenge that narrative. Prepare for a reveal that doesn't just question history, but relies on hard data to rewrite it. The story begins, as it always does, with Plato. Around 360 BC, the Greek philosopher described an advanced civilization that existed 9,000 years before his own time. He didn't describe a magical underwater kingdom. He described a massive maritime power, a city of concentric rings, a center of trade and engineering located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. Critics have long argued that Plato simply invented Atlantis to teach a lesson about hubris. They point out the lack of physical evidence. They argue that no civilization of that scale could simply vanish without a trace. But Plato was specific about one detail that modern science is only now beginning to take seriously. He wrote that in a single dreadful day and night, the island was swallowed by the sea and disappeared. For a long time, geologists scoffed at this idea. Continents drift slowly. Islands erode over millennia. The idea of a sudden, total cataclysm was seen as impossible. But that view has changed. We now know that the Earth is far more volatile than previously believed. We have records of massive volcanic collapses that have triggered megatsunamis. We have evidence of sunken land masses like Doggerland in the North Sea, proving that human territories can indeed be lost to rising waters. So the question is no longer, could it happen? Geologically, we know it can. The real question is, did it happen there? Did a specific event in the Atlantic or Mediterranean wipe out a culture that history forgot? Because when we stop looking for a mythical city and start looking for the geological scars of a catastrophe, the map begins to look very different. And one specific region, located exactly where the ancient texts pointed, has begun to show signs of a violent past that matches the legend almost perfectly.
When Plato wrote that Atlantis disappeared in a single dreadful day and night, historians treated it as fiction. Civilizations, they argued, do not simply vanish. But geology tells a more violent story. We live on a restless planet. We have seen the sheer destructive power of nature in our own lifetimes. Consider the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. In a matter of hours, coastlines were erased, geography was altered, and entire communities were swept away. Now, imagine an event of that magnitude, or greater, occurring in the confined waters of the Mediterranean or the Atlantic thousands of years ago. The region known as the Ring of Fire is famous for this, but the tectonic fault lines near the Pillars of Hercules are equally capable of sudden violence. Geological records show evidence of massive historical earthquakes and volcanic collapses that have obliterated islands in the past. It is not a matter of magic. It is a matter of physics. If a major seismic event triggered a liquefaction of the soil or a massive tsunami, a low-lying maritime city could effectively be erased from the map. So, the mechanism for Atlantis' disappearance is real. The myth of a city sinking into the sea is actually a geological plausibility. But having a weapon is not enough. We need a body. We need physical traces of a structure that matches the legend. For centuries, these traces were hidden under water and mud, invisible to the human eye. But we are no longer limited by the human eye. We now have eyes in the sky.
With the advancement of deep-sea mapping and satellite archaeology, the search for Atlantis moved from libraries to laboratories. Researchers began scanning the areas Plato specifically mentioned, beyond the Strait of Gibraltar and off the coast of southern Spain, near the modern city of Cadiz. Something unusual appeared in the data. Satellite imagery revealed strange geometric anomalies submerged in the marshlands and shallow waters. Nature rarely builds in straight lines, and nature certainly does not build concentric circles. Yet the scans showed large circular structures, alignments that appear to be the remnants of massive canal systems. Rectangular foundations that resemble the layout of an ancient port city. When these patterns are overlaid with Plato's description, the similarities are unsettling. He described a city of alternating rings of water and land. The satellite data suggests exactly that structure, now flattened and buried under thousands of years of silt. This region sits directly on a tectonic fault line. It has a history of tsunamis, and it matches the location of the legendary city of Tartessos, which some archaeologists believe was the historical inspiration for Atlantis. We are not looking at a magical kingdom. We are likely looking at the corpse of a sophisticated Bronze Age trade hub, destroyed exactly as the legends said. The myth was likely a memory. But if this structure is Atlantis, it changes everything we understand about early human history. It means advanced engineering existed here long before we thought possible.
When we piece together the puzzle, the picture is no longer one of fantasy. We have the geological mechanism, a seismically active world capable of erasing islands. We have the location, the waters beyond Gibraltar, exactly where the ancients pointed. And now, thanks to satellite technology, we have the physical anomalies, geometric shadows of a city buried beneath the mud. The evidence does not point to a city of super beings or aliens. It points to something perhaps more profound. It suggests that human civilization was more connected, more advanced, and more fragile than we admit. Atlantis may not be a myth to be debunked, but a warning to be heeded. It is a reminder that even the greatest civilizations can fall. That history is not a straight line of progress, but a cycle of rise and ruin. Archaeology is slowly shifting its verdict. We are moving from myth to unconfirmed historical event. The structure off the coast of Spain waits for more detailed excavation. Until then, it remains the most compelling candidate for the lost city. History is written by the survivors, but sometimes the Earth itself keeps the records. And right now, the Earth is telling us that we have forgotten a massive chapter of our own story. What do you think? Is the structure in Spain the real Atlantis? Or is the true city still waiting to be found? Tell us your theory in the comments below. And if you want to explore more lost chapters of human history, make sure to subscribe. The truth is deeper than you think.